Richard, it's good to see you. Why don't you go ahead and have a seat? Okay.
Wait, is that you? We? Us? Me? Man, we're old.
Yeah, look, teaching really does age you. Anyway, I know why you're here.
You do, old Richard?
Hey, don't talk to your elder that way. It's Master Sage. Okay, anyway, I know that you want to be a professor someday, and I'm here to talk you out of it. No, I'm just kidding. It's an awesome job. You get to work with some wonderful students, and you'll never regret that. You, however, have a lot of work to do.
Really?
Really.
Okay, what do I need to make my English skills super awesomer?
Where to begin? Well, the most essential part of a paper is the thesis, and I think we should work on that. You have a paper coming up, don't you?
It's on free speech. Here, I got it. It's, I will discuss the pros and cons of free speech on campus.
Wrong. Nope. A thesis is not a mission statement. It should be a strong declaration or assertion of your claim, of your argument in your paper.
In his article, Greenberg explains that we don't have free speech on campus due to speech codes.
Were you listening to me? I said a thesis needs to clearly and succinctly state your exact argument. It should be so totally clear and obvious what your argument is.
In my paper, I will argue free speech is good.
Just stop before you hurt yourself.
Free speech is unfairly infringed on campus.
Okay, that's better. However, it's still broad and it's missing some key features. Let me just go ahead and explain some elements of a thesis statement.
All right, so a thesis statement is essentially your entire paper summed up into one or two sentences that are then placed near the end or at the end of your introduction or introductory paragraphs. In a nutshell, all your thesis is your claim plus your methodology. That's our formula for it. What are you arguing? How will you prove it? But I really want to make this point clear that your thesis really is your entire paper. Okay? So each one of your body paragraphs are really parts of the thesis. Like in the thesis, it points to all the things that you're going to talk about. Okay? So in this way, you might almost want to think of a thesis as like the main idea of your paper.
The topic and point.
Exactly. Just like the topic plus point, the claim plus methodology also shows not only what's your point, what's the claim, and also what things that you're going to look at to prove that, just like the topics. Just with the thesis statement, we're thinking about the paper more broadly, and we'll have a broader argument, a more debatable argument. So that's why my questions that I like to ask when looking at my thesis are, what are you arguing and how will you prove it?
Okay, so I get that the thesis needs to point to all the things I'm going to talk about in my paper, but I don't know how I'm going to go about proving my claim.
Well, first, you don't need to have the thesis point to every single paragraph directly. And this misnomer comes from probably the 5-paragraph essay, where we learn that 5-paragraph essay is, this is true because of A, B, and C. And then body paragraph 1 is A, body paragraph 2 is B, body paragraph 3 is C, right? And that works great for a 5-paragraph essay or a real short paper. But what happens if you write a 20-page paper? Like, how are you going to do that? So instead, that's why I like to think about it more broadly, like, how will you go about proving your claim? And also, you're right, it's unrealistic for you to have a sense of how you're going to prove your claim when you first start writing your paper. And it's just not feasible that you will be able to predict everything you're going to write. Bottom line is, just don't be afraid to write a thesis to help you direct your attention and direct your focus. But don't be afraid to go back after you've written a draft and then just make sure that your paper matches that thesis. That's if you're going to revise only one thing, that'd be the thing I would do.
Okay, I'm still confused about methodology. Is that like reasons?
Exactly. Methodology is probably the hardest part of the paper. It's how you're going to go about proving your claim. So this could include the kind of studies that you are going to look at, the kinds of thinking, if you're using a type of philosophical or psychological thought process, or if you just want to illustrate the kinds of reasons or types of topics that you're going to look at to prove your claim. This is where you just show the manner in which, that's all methodology means, the manner in which you're going to go about proving your claim. Okay, and remember, what are you arguing and how will you prove it? Okay, so what's your thesis now?
Okay, how's this? By forbidding the discussion of controversial subjects and imposing restrictive speech codes, campuses unfairly restrict what can be said and how it can be said to such a degree that they ultimately fail to provide a productive and diverse academic environment.
This is good. We have a clear claim. So your claim is that campuses are too restrictive of free speech. And we have methodology. We understand how you're going to go about proving that. We know that you're going to look at speech codes and the banning of certain topics. And still, what's really great, what makes this a really good thesis, is that we get a glimpse of your reasoning. So your reasoning is that kind of stems from your belief about what the academic environment should look like, and that is for you the free exchange of ideas. So that's great. The only thing I would mention is that it's probably going to end up being too big for the kind of paper you're writing, because your paper is rather small paper. So don't be afraid to limit your focus or change your thesis if you end up needing to do that.
And you know, Master Sage, I got a piece of advice for you. You really need a hat.
Huh.